Derby 150 is the ultimate test of equine safety, and Churchill Downs has put together a number of measures this year to make sure that they're taking care of our equine athletes and our athletes here on the track, everybody here along the backside. Dr. Will Farmer is the equine medical director for all Churchill Downs racetracks, including this one. It's so great to have you on because this is such an important issue. It's so top of mind this year, well, every year, but you probably feel like this year we want everything in place, and you have new things in place.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's Derby 150. Who can't be excited about that? To celebrate Derby 150, we've got the new paddock. There's so many cool things that we're excited about. But for me, it's always the horses.
Yeah.
It's always horse welfare.
So last spring meet after Derby, that meet was cut short and moved to Kentucky Downs because of a number of incidents that were investigated. After that, you all top to bottom went in and put in a number of things. Like this year, kind of take us through, starting with the technology. There's a lot of eyes on this track and backside too.
There are. So we have a great team of veterinarians between the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission veterinarians, our attending veterinarians who take care of the horses every day, and our Churchill staff that have eyes and hands on these horses multiple times as we lead up to Derby. We're incorporating some new technologies, which we started last year in a pilot program, and we've now moved forward with, called Stride Safe. Which is wearable technology that all of our horses have when they're racing. It's a small device about the size of your cell phone that sits on their back right underneath their saddle towel, right by the saddle. And then it's measuring movements up and down, left and right, forward and backwards. So that's with a company called Stride Safe. And so we're super excited to be able to use that information to help us make better veterinary decisions and welfare decisions for horses.
And there's probably a lot more vet oversight now, because you're seeing the horses. We saw them work out this morning. Where does that come in, and where can a vet say, I don't know, I think we need to step out of this race just for the ultimate safety here?
Obviously a horse is only 3 once, and so the Kentucky Derby is really the pinnacle of where everybody wants to get to. But at the end of the day, the horse's welfare is first and foremost for all of us here. And so, as we progress these horses, we have a number of regulations, either through our federal regulation, which is the Horse Integrity and Safety Act, or through the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission, which governs us locally here in the state, or our own rules at Churchill Downs, where we have certain requirements for veterinary intervention along the way. And it's not just about Derby week. These are things that we do for every horse, every day, every race here in Kentucky.
And you can't underscore enough the collaboration you have from so many different aspects of this industry. You got to have, it's not just you all saying we need to do this, but you got to have that workmanship, that partnership with other people to make it all come together.
Correct. One of the things about the Kentucky Derby is that we pull in horses not just from here in Kentucky. We have horses who've come from California. We have horses who've come from Florida, New York. And so working with all of those different veterinarians and racing jurisdictions to make sure that we have a clinical picture of that horse and their background and any kind of veterinary related information. So again, as they show up here, the veterinarians who are working here have all the tools that they need. And
really steps that the industry needs to move forward, period, anyway.
Correct.
Really, if there's new technology, why not get it here? And you all have.
Absolutely. One of the issues that we have struggled as an industry is the fact that racing in Kentucky used to be different than racing in Indiana or racing in Ohio. And now through our federal legislation that has the last couple of years with HISA, it's one jurisdiction, and that's been really helpful for our horsemen, but also for who benefits the most of our horses, because the welfare and benefits that they see from this united jurisdiction is very helpful.
What is your Derby week like?
I'll be honest. So it's busy just because it's Derby week, and that's part of it. We have all these extra things going on, but when it comes down to the nuts and bolts of what I do, it's the same as that we do every other day for our horses. We are constantly doing risk assessment reviews on the horses, making sure that we're doing exams on the horses so that we can always make sure that they are safe when they go train every single day.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to explain this to us. I think it's something viewers need to be aware of, and they can get all this information, I think, on ChurchillDowns.com website. You have all these things listed.
We do. We have a whole safety page on our equine safety at ChurchillDowns.com.
All right, Dr. Farmer, thank you so much. Once again, for more information, just go to ChurchillDowns.com.